Previously on Dungeonbreaker.
Everyone sort of eventually makes their way out into the middle of the arena, where an absolutely enormous zeppelin is descending slowly into the arena floor. I just had a little arrangement with old Al. He'd gas up my zeppelin whenever I stopped by and I needed a top-up. And every 1 in 10 trips I'd have to have dinner with him and reject his advances.
Sorry, what's your name?
Oh, sorry, how rude of me. She sticks out a hand and says, Montebank, Amelia Montebank, at your service. Sorry, what was the question? What am I doing?
Yeah.
Oh, well, very simple, really. I'm going to rob the Cathedral of the Silver Flame. You, sooner or later, you're like, what the... And you see, basically, these are winged creatures. They are a set of wings, and they are a head, and they are nothing else. And all of the heads are screaming.
They're gonna try and kiss us!
Oh no!
And I think we shall roll initiative. So, first up in the initiative order is Mist, who is in the cockpit and has no idea that anything's going on.
I follow Fizz because I think he's gone out for a fly. And I'm really excited to see him finally fly because I've been waiting for it since I've known him all of a week. So I go outside and I guess I see the Vargouilles coming towards us.
Yeah, you see they're Vargouilles.
They look pretty scary.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna straight off cast sleep.
Okay. Yeah, sod it, why not? Yeah, I was gonna be like, I'm gonna get you to hold that actually, because that's quite a lot to be doing. But yeah, go for it. Cast sleep. That is 5d8s, please.
4, 7 is 11, plus 3 is 14, plus 5 is 19, plus 6 is 25.
Okay, cool. It's only enough to drop 1, I'm afraid. But you do drop 1. So how are you casting sleep?
I sing my lullaby. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, my scary head monster thing. I don't know what they're.
One of them, immediately, its jaw drops open. It goes and snores. It sounds like it honestly sounds like it's accelerating towards the surface of Lake Galifar. And the other 3 actually speed up a bit and shriek in rage, like, because that's what Vargouilles sound like. That's canon now. Okay, Fizz, you're next.
So hideous laughter.
Yep.
That causes things to go prone.
I can sense a theme emerging here.
Would that also drop them into a lake?
Let's have a look, shall we? Hideous laughter. Hideous laughter. Forms of fits of laughter or fall prone, becoming incapacitated and unable to stand up for the duration. I mean, if you can't even stand up, what chance have you of flying? Yeah.
All right, fantastic.
Okay, so these guys, excuse me for belching, need to make a wisdom saving throw. Or
can I just check? Do they have an intelligence score of 4 or less?
They have
because
an
that will also
intelligence
screw it
score
up.
of 4.
Ah, well, this will have no effect then.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, that's my entire turn wasted. So let me just.
Mist, you see Fizz sort of like center himself and sort of mutter and like, and then sort of looks up and nothing happens.
I think that he's like trying to like work himself up, like work up his courage to go flying. Like I still think that's what he's doing.
Okay, great. Cool. I hope you had tiny tarts and a feather that was waved in the air for that, by the way. Fizz.
Fine, mate, I got spell focus. Don't worry about it.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Needless to say, everyone's got a spell focus if they want one, because spell requirements are not our friends. Anyway, that's enough about what I think of D&D. Let's actually play D&D. Eric, you're next. Eric, what are you doing?
firebolt, or attempt
Cool.
to bolt him.
So
what can
whereabouts are you right now? We left you behind the bar.
Yes, that's where I live. I
think we can say that the Vargouilles are close enough and they're shrieky enough now that everyone is sensible to their them being around. Even if I think more boss, you're a bit like, what is that? There's definitely something. You're not certain. The others know.
So we can just kind of see them coming in toward the ship.
Yeah.
So I scream, and I'm going to attempt to release a firebolt.
Great.
Sweet. That is 17 plus 6, so that is
hits.
24.
Wow. Yeah, that absolutely hits. Goodness me. Okay. Roll me some damage, please.
Alrighty, get the old pointy D8 out. That's a 4. Yay!
Is this AOE or is it targeted on a single?
Single target.
Yeah. 4. So it was 4, right?
Yes, 4 points of damage.
Okay.
Oh wait, sorry, it's actually a D10. I need to roll that again.
Yeah, let's.
My bad. Right, and it's 120 foot range.
Yep.
10.
That's more like it.
Wow.
So you, how I mean, so basically you like, you don't kill it, but you blow its lower jaw off. And this thing is seriously hurt, like it's lagging behind the others. How does Eric cast this spell? Is he like animated? Is he laconic or?
So he's sort of quite panicked, and for a moment he's kind of got these very faded scars that run up and down his necks and arm, his many necks, his neck and his arms. And they sort of like glimmer for a second, and his eyes kind of turn up just for a split second. It just goes. And then he screams and dies behind the bar for the cover.
Awesome. Tim the Goblin, you're having the best day of your life. What are you doing?
Tim, everyone's aware this is going on, except for more boss. Tim is going to wriggle out of the grasp of Amelia. And gesture to the door and say, I will protect you. And he runs out and he casts Entangle on one of the flying heads.
Okay.
It's 90 feet.
Cool.
If that's enough.
Bleeding heck.
Only problem with this is that with Entangle, grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground.
I figured that would be an issue. However, is it just I need to be 90 feet from the target, or is it the target has to be 90 foot from the ground?
It's a 20-foot square.
Yeah, but it doesn't specifically say. There's ground underneath them at some point.
Under the water.
Yeah.
20-foot square.
That's just the radius of it.
No, if it's a square, it's like Thunderbolt. It's 20. No, it would say cube, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah. So yeah, go on then. La 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 la. Any creature in the area must succeed on a strength saving throw. What is your spell save DC, please?
It is 12.
12. Oh. These things have a charming strength of -2. Miss. Wow. Okay, that's kind of amazing. So, a group that is actually very close to you. Basically, you hear anyone who's sort of looking will hear this sort of like noise as these little specks on the lake floor kind of grow, and then they turn into tendrils that are flying up at an absolute rate of knots. In fact, you sort of hear several distinct sonic booms as all of these vines break the sound barrier, such is the speed with which they need to reach these Vargouilles. One of them manages to sort of do a barrel roll out of the way. The other 3 are grabbed and yanked straight back down into the surface of the lake. That was absolutely preposterous. Yeah, there we go.
They are restrained in the lake.
They are, yeah. That's a very polite way of putting drowning. But yes, they are. Let's call it restrained in the lake.
Yeah, Tim's standing there going, ah, ah.
Okay, so I mentioned that one of them did a barrel roll. It's now that one's turn. What's your AC, please, Tim?
My AC is 12.
12.
I like that your brain comes with its own hold music. That's good.
A 7 will not do it. I think the Vargouille, maybe it on the strength of your spellcasting prowess, assumed you would be taller. Either way, kind of like a seagull menacing you for scraps in the swamp, this Vargouille sort of comes low and goes and completely misses you and takes off into the air again. So there is a trio of Vargoulles that are coming at you quite fast. There is one that is making a tokenistic effort because it's been half exploded, but it just wants to feel part of the action. So let us see. Fizz, armor class, please.
12.
12. Okay, that is a hit. Basically, I don't know if you've still sort of got your arms out from casting or whatever.
I'm wielding my glass orb.
Amazing. Like a head with wings just goes and attaches itself to your wrist and starts buffeting you with its wings. And you take 4 points of damage.
Wow, that's all but 2 of my health.
Whoa!
Ooh. Okay then. All right, so that one's gone. Mist, what's your armor class?
13.
No, that's a miss. So you know what? Basically, a Vargouille kind of goes and clamps onto your shoulder, and then kind of goes. It just got nothing but fur and is confused. These things are not bright, so it's sort of like it takes off and rejoins its group, while it sort of thinks about what it's done. Next one, that's a 1. So Fizz, you look up into the eyes of a Vargouille that is like staring at you with unbridled hatred, and you're like, this is it, this is how I die. And then it basically, you feel some front teeth just bounce off your forehead. It's the one that was half exploded, and it tries to bite you, but with no lower jaw to close, it just kind of goes boom and sort of spins off like a football. And then finalement, there's a problem. One of the Vargoulles, the last Vargouille in this sort of like pack, this swarm, attaches itself to one of the ropes holding the gondola onto the balloon, and it just grabs on and goes and starts chewing away. So
that's probably fine. They've got like 100 ropes, surely, right?
Morboss, it's your turn.
Right, Dad?
Oh, son, my sweet summer child. Morboss, what are you doing? You're in a chimney writing petulant graffiti, which probably felt poignant about 5 minutes ago.
I hear this commotion going on outside.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure to finish my graffiti.
Yeah.
And sign it at the bottom, Morboss.
I bet Morboss has a lovely signature.
Oh yeah, it's like fully script, real flowing, very pretentious. It's got a little tail on it with a little ember. So then he doesn't want to go outside. because, you know, not because he's scared.
No.
I slipped into fizz there. Not because he's scared, but just because, you know, it's not really worth his time. So can he? Presumably, there are windows kind of around this.
There are, yes. So
Can he see the? Oh, sorry.
No, I'm going to say, yeah, there are windows pretty much all the way around. And then there is the door to sort of the cabin where you see like Amelia like frantically pulling levers and spinning the wheel and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's what you can see. You can see your compatriots out there. Fizz appears to have acquired some form of pet.
Can I see the one chewing on the rope?
Yes.
Does this gondola? How is it propelled? Is it propelled using propellers, or does it
yeah,
just
there
kind of
is
float?
one big propeller at the back.
Okay.
And there are a couple of fins with little, like, they're studded with smaller propellers, but these are for like minor adjustments.
Okay. It might be too far, so tell me if it is. But what I would like to do is I would like to grab a taxidermy thing off the wall.
Yep.
Maybe the one that scared. Let's say the one that scared Morboss earlier, just out of spite.
Yep.
He's that kind of tiefling. He's going to take that.
Yep.
And he's going to go to the back where the propeller is.
Uh-huh.
And as long as this will require your judgment, DM. So I've got command as an enchantment, which says I can speak a one-word command to a creature I can see within range. It must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or follow the command. So it doesn't have any effect if the target's undead, doesn't understand my language, or is directly harmful to it.
Okay.
So I can speak abyssal, common, goblin, and infernal.
Mate, Vargouilles understand abyssal, infernal, and any languages they knew before becoming a Vargouille. So it's hits across the board. Choose your language, mate.
I'll speak to it in abyssal.
Cool. This particular one is as it was decomposing before it sort of became a Vargouille, it took on a distinctly greenish hue, and its nose is very orange, and it speaks many languages. It's a deep cut, but I'm enjoying it.
So what was it?
It's the Duolingo bird. Who left me in charge? Carry on, more of us.
God, I hope I'm able to kill it. Right. So I can't give it a command if the command is directly harmful to it. So I
Okay.
can't tell it to fly into the propeller.
Yep.
What I'd like to do is tell it to follow the taxidermy creature,
Okay.
which I'm then going to yeet into the propeller.
Okay, so what is your one-word command to get this Vargouille to...
In abyssal.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, no. Abyssal for the layman watching is a famously expressive language. Often there's a common adage actually across the land that is why use 200 words when one word in abyssal would do. So if any of you spoke abyssal, you would hear actually quite a rousing pep talk from Morboss, being like, "Now listen here, you. It's very simple. We're all up against it right now, and what I want you to do is follow this thing. Follow it as if your life depended on it."
I can actually understand abyssal.
Right. Okay. I love this. I love this so much. So yeah, Eric, you sort of look on and you're like, "Oh, I get what he's up to." So what's your spell save DC? I wouldn't
that's a
worry.
good-
I've got a -2 on wisdom, so.
Save DC is 9.
No, that won't do it.
So command also says, well, attack save is Wiz 9, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, it locks eyes with this taxidermy beast, and yeah, it's gonna follow. Don't you worry about that.
excellent. So I pelt it into the propeller.
Just make me a dex throw, and just don't biff it.
Okay.
Are you proficient in taxidermied animals?
Let's say yes.
Yeah,
Morboss
probably.
definitely has a collection.
I can't
yeah.
see your character sheet. I trust you. It's fine. Yeah, add your proficiency bonus.
16.
Yes, I would say that you successfully yeet this animal into the propeller. It sort of flies away in a bunch of like slices and stuffing, and just explodes into dust. You're like, ugh, that thing must have been in there a long time. It is closely followed by a Vargouille. That is minced. It's, if this was a reverse shot, we'd sort of the camera image would be flickering as the propeller blades go round, and then Morboss kind of goes poof, and is spattered in gore, absolutely covered with it.
Indiana Jones kind of like.
Yeah,
I think he.
Oh yeah, that bit. Yeah,
he basically shudders, but doesn't try to give away the fact that he's utterly disgusted by this and quite repulsed and quite upset with what he's just done.
Yeah.
But because he's down the other end of the ship, no one sees it anyway, so he just kind of wipes himself away quickly.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Morboss's go is done. That's Amelia's go. First, I'm going to have her roll piloting to adjust for the... Oh, dear. Adjust for the propeller getting gummed up by two unexpected foreign objects. She... sort of... The ship yaws a bit. Could everyone please quickly make me a dexterity saving throw? Looking to beat a 10.
Oh, no.
5.
4.
Okay.
19.
Whoa.
What is it? Dexterity?
Dex, yeah,
Saving
just add
throw.
your dex.
Oh, 19 as well.
Okay, anyone who didn't get over 10 is knocked to the floor. Morboss, you skid a few alarming feet toward the rail, just for giggles.
What about the Vargouille that's attached to my arm? Does that also fall over?
Yes, it does. Let's see. What's the dex on a Vargouille? Okay, it passed the saving throw. So while it is still attached to you and it does hit the deck, it doesn't take any damage as a result.
Okay.
Somehow, like, reflexively, you curl your arms in, and then you disgusted with yourself, realise that you have protected this Vargouille like a newborn babe.
I was trying to protect my glass orb so it didn't shatter everywhere, and accidentally got that guy in it as well.
Oh, okay, that's fair enough. Amelia is doing some other stuff. She's pulling some levers. She's grabbing something. We'll come back to her, and then we have our last group of Vargoulles. Turns out I threw a lot of these at you. Okay. One of them smashes through the window into the cabin, and swoops low over the bar, but doesn't manage to actually reach Eric. Gives it a good go. The second Vargouille attaches itself to another rope, like before. Another Vargouille... This is amazing. Another Vargouille collides into mist and recoils, going... It's got a mouth full of stuff, and actually that is it for that group, because we lost one already, thanks to sleep. We go round to the top. Mist of the Mountain.
Yeah, that's me.
Mist on the Mountain, sorry.
On the mountain, that's me. I was going to attack the one that's attached to Fizz, but having seen Fizz protect him, I now think that Fizz actually would like this. It's like, I think Fizz is like trying to adopt this guy. So instead, I'm just gonna cast a healing word on Fizz.
Lovely.
Because I can see
lovely.
he's hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
So it's a 1d4 plus my spellcasting ability modifier.
Yep.
Am I rolling the d4?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's your...
Oh, sorry. That's it's 2. So and I rolled a 1, so 3.
Oh, that's not bad. I'm at 5 out of 6 now.
Okay, cool.
Forgot you had so few hit points.
Level 1 characters.
What does it sound like when you cast Healing Word?
I just go there, and pet him on the head. Pat him on the head.
I love it.
I'm like writhing.
So yeah, Fizz, what are we saying? What's going on, buddy?
So first, like as my sort of like free action to talk, I'm just going to scream at Miss, be like, please get this off me. But with the other hand still wielding my crystal orb, I'm going to try and fire an acid splash into two of the Vargouilles that are still sort of swirling around in the air.
Okay, great. Yes, that is absolutely fine. It's on me to make a saving throw, isn't it?
Dex 14 saving throw.
Thank you
And
very
I'm
much.
targeting two of them.
Lovely. In that case, 14 was the target, was it?
Mhm.
That's a miss. And that's a miss.
Okay, so the first one takes 1 damage, and the second one takes 5 damage.
Okay, now we're talking. So, one of the Vargouilles develops a beauty spot where a tiny bit of acid goes psst, and it goes. Another one starts shrieking as it takes quite a large chunk of damage. In fact, if you weren't sort of caught up in the frenzy, you'd notice the first Vargouille that's got this beauty spot sort of look over at the other one as if to be like, he's milking it. Like,
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, mate. Come on.
Vargouilles are not bright, but they are bright enough and mean enough to judge one another. This is like they can't
Just like humans.
exactly. Well, humans once these were.
Mm.
So that's Fizz. Eric.
How many Vargouilles are near me?
There
Vargouilles.
is one that has smashed its way into the room and is sort of flying around. It's just circling a chandelier.
I just sort of shout out, "You can't come on board. There's not enough room." And I will attempt to hit it with a firebolt.
Okay, you're looking to be at 12.
Okay.
Not enough room on here.
That's a 16.
Yeah, roll damage.
Roll a d10 this time,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a 1.
Oh. Unlucky.
Nothing.
You absolutely decimate the chandelier, though. In fact, I think the Vargouille, it's on the backward track, so it's out of your sight when you explode the chandelier. But a shard of it sort of lodges in its forehead, and you hear it go like, ah! Tim, the heckin' goblin.
So are they're all like hovering over the Zeppelin deck
Yeah,
now?
they're sort of flitting in and out of the ropes. One of them's like on the ropes. One of them is inside where a chandelier used to be.
Okay, Tim is gonna run up to where he can see one of the ones gnawing on the ropes.
Yep, there's just one on the ropes, I believe.
Okay. Well, it will be on the ropes in a minute.
Hey!
Yeah. He's gonna cast. Hope this doesn't miss. He's gonna cast poison spray.
Okie dokie. Yep.
Oh god.
He can't reach it. He's too small. He would try and whack it, but I don't think that's gonna.
Okay.
He can't like physically reach the
Sure.
Vargouille
Yeah.
gnawing on the rope,
Okay.
right?
No. Well,
No.
no.
Considering his height and where the ropes are.
You know what? Make me just quickly make me a wisdom check. Just straight wisdom.
Oh, that's not good. That is a 4.
Never mind. You reckon if you jump, you could probably just about make it. I would make you roll disadvantage, I think, on the attack.
Okay, he's gonna use poison spray then.
Okay.
What the hell?
You don't need to roll for this. I need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh yeah, you do.
Except for
Oh.
this is what the wisdom roll was for. I'm afraid.
Oh, I bet it's
Vargouilles
resistant.
are immune to poison. Or are they just resistant? No, they are immune to poison.
Well, Tim's gonna spray.
Yeah. So
Like a cat, he must spray.
Yeah.
yeah, so Tim sort of reaches out a hand and a puff of spores, kind of like
Yeah, yeah.
out of his adorable little palm, but the Vargouille doesn't seem to notice.
Yeah, Tim looks at his hand. He's like, I swear this worked the other day.
This is like prone on the ground trying to shake a mouth off of his arm. He's like, it happens, Tim.
Sometimes you just can't spray.
I'm sorry, that really got me. Okay, we go now to the Vargouille that is menacing Eric. Eric, what's your AC?
My AC is, I guess I would have put my mage armor on, I think. But
Well,
if I,
yeah, 100p.
yeah, so that's 14 with my mage armor. Without the mage armor, not so good.
Never mind, I rolled a 4. There is, this is a classy joint. There is one of those bars with like lots of brass inlays and stuff, and also a giant mirror in like behind the bar. And the
very
Vargouille just like bites the face off your reflection. Like it comes away just going chewing a mouthful of glass. In fact, roll me a d6.
90 odd. 5.
It takes 5 points of glass in mouth damage.
Oh, piece of glass. Not a good shout.
Let me see. You know what? You remember that Vargouille that spun away like after bouncing off Fizz's head and it was extremely damaged? It just kept going. Sod it. It got caught up in one of the auxiliary propellers and I've killed it because I can't be bothered to roll for it because it's not going to do a thing. Instead, I'll roll for the one on Fizz's arm. AC, Fizz?
12.
No. So it's kind of like but it's
gumming me.
It's kind of just holding you, but like my dog does this. She loves holding people's wrists in her mouth, which is slightly alarming the first time it happens. But she just holds it there, but her tongue just goes underneath. That is what is happening to your arm.
Great.
Right
That's a lot
now.
less cute when it's not a dog.
Yeah, in fact, it's not like it's going like in that really horrible arcane sort of like gross demon sort of way. Delightful. What's your AC again? Sorry, missed.
Oh, 13.
Okay, you're losing quite a lot of fur at this point because these Vargoulles just keep going. Oh no. You think they learn, but they won't. They just that. So that's them. More boss in the not in the chimney anymore. Are you in this? No, you're not in the chimney.
No, I came out and propelled a.
Of course you did. I'm sorry. More boss who is on the floor and covered in gore.
That's me. I only speak in rhymes now.
Get on the floor, covered in gore.
if
The
you-
goblin's got a dinosaur.
If you complete this, if you tell me what you are going to do and do it in rhyme, I will give you advantage on whatever it is you do.
Okay. Can I ask a question not in rhyme?
Of course you can.
If you want to kill these Vargouilles free, questions you must be asked by me? I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with
Right.
this.
Yeah. Fine. You've already got advantage. Go for it.
Okay, great. So the one who got splashed with acid and was thoroughly mocked by the other Vargouille, or at least looked at disparagingly,
Yep.
it's not the one attached to Fizz, is it? It's
No.
okay. In Abyssal, I want to say something very mean about its appearance.
Yep.
And I want it to. So I want to have returned from the back towards the front.
Mhm.
I want to say something and get back in because Morbus doesn't like being outside on this high ship. So
Naturally.
I'm going to stand just inside the door,
Mhm.
and I'm going to say something very mean in Abyssal
Mhm.
to this. Yeah.
Yep.
So I say something along the lines of.
Whoa! I mean, overkill.
Out of line.
Jesus, Matt,
Yeah.
we're on video.
Right. Eric, you
Sorry, you can
feel
bleep that.
Eric, you feel sick to your stomach.
What did you say?
You're
Oh,
like,
yeah, it's just
wow. Yeah.
I'm looking at Morbos in a whole new light. I have a sort of strange, renewed respect for him now, watching
Yeah.
him sort of talk down in Abyssal.
So the
Mhm.
aim of that is I wanted to draw it towards me.
Oh, it works. Yeah.
Okay.
It's rushing towards you. You're not an expert on the entire land of Corvair, but you think this particular Vargouille might have come from a small town in the nation of Karnath called Glasgow. And basically, it looks furious and it's gonna try and headbutt you. So it is sailing towards you with its wings tucked back. What are you doing?
I shut the door. And then, can I just clarify? Did these doors open outwards?
Open outwards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Either that, or I'd
why
like to
don't
draw
you
it
tell
toward
me
the
what
window.
you're imagining, and I'll see if that's what I have in my head.
So I'd like to shut the door as it flies towards me,
Uh-huh.
and then I'd like to use thaumaturgy to instantaneously use an unlocked door or window to fly open.
Of course they open outwards. Of course they do. Yeah.
Is this a pinball machine you've made?
It's basically a batting cage.
Yeah, are you imagining like sending it off into the ether, or the door swings fully open and pins it against the side of the
I
cabin?
mean, either's good. There's no downside to this plan. That's
All
the
right.
brilliant thing.
Yeah. Okay. I was like,
If you-
I'll be kind to this Vargouille. I will just roll myself a little dex save. That's a 1.
If you do try and send it into the ether, then the quality of your roll could determine whether or not it's a home run.
Oh, it's a home run, all right. There is a the action cuts away to a quiet tavern in the small town of Glasgow, where lots of men are sort of sat quietly enjoying drinks. Someone's having a meal. There is a bard plucking a lyre in the corner, and then a Vargouille just smashes through the window and into the fireplace, and they sort of all look up and go, yeah, and go back to their drinks. Yeah, that's extremely dead. Like, that's really dead, that one.
Morbos goes and has a victory sip from behind the bar
Brilliant.
and joins Eric.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, it is Amelia's turn. Amelia, as you sort of come in to go to the bar, you see Amelia coming out. She's got a massive sledgehammer. So it's like big old, like the head of the sledgehammer is like this big, and then there's like a really like thick iron pole that goes down, and then it seems to sort of go into a weird wooden clad like shaft that it looks unwieldy. You're like, why would you put that on your weapon? You know, it's not a leather grip, it's just weird panelled wood. But there's no time to ask her as she strides out through the door that is open and has like a Vargouille shaped dent in it. And she smashes one of the Vargoulles out the way with this hammer. She then flips the hammer round underneath her, so she's got like the wood in her hands. She's got the stock of the hammer against her palm, which is now red from all the Vargouille blood, and she just poof, punts the head of the hammer down into the wooden shaft, and a net flies out with lots of little iron balls, and just it catches 2 Vargoulles and sends them down to the depths of Lake Corvair. No, Galinar. That's her go. So we have got 3 Vargoulles left. One is this. There is still one in with you, Eric? Or did it die? Yes, it is.
Oh, the one flinging around the chandelier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
yes.
that's right.
Got blast in the face.
And then there's the one attached to Fizz, and then there is one more that is flying around and not looking too sharp. I believe it's 3. I'm sure somebody watching this will crunch the numbers and correct me, but they're not here right now, so we're going to go with it. The last Vargouille does nothing impressive, basically. It just sort of hovers for a bit and screams. Mist on the mountain.
So the third Vargouille, he's flying around.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
thing
just
that we're in?
spitting out fire. Like,
Okay.
Oh, you better stay out of the way of that. Yeah.
Is he? I would like
Uh-huh.
to try and jump on him as he's flying by me.
Okay, I will say these things
Oh,
are
Lord.
very small.
Oh,
They are-
there. Okay.
Well, they're a human head
Oh, okay.
and then wings. So a Vargouille
Oh, right.
is specifically this big.
I genuinely thought they were like a big head and then wings. No, they're just actual head size.
I mean,
okay.
I've got quite a big head. So...
No, you're grand. I thought it was like a
Oh,
giant head.
You're also a tabaxi. Like, you've probably got a fair shout of jumping on the thing. It's just whether it can generate enough lift for both of you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna test
Okay.
that theory. So instead, I'm going to. So we're on like a kind of balcony, right, around the outside of the
Correct.
thing we're on. I think I'm just gonna like, do the cat thing, you know, where I kind of like get down low and my butt's wiggling around and I'm just waiting for him to kind of like fly by me so I can pounce at the right moment and try and just like pounce on him onto the deck, like trying to stay on deck.
Okay, so you're holding your action.
I guess so. Well, until he comes
Okay,
flying
great.
past me.
Fizz.
Yeah, we're all going to be really annoyed when you bring that into the cabin with, like, in your mouth.
Present.
Right, no, leave it outside. So, the problem I'm having here is that my main attack is acid splash, which, when targeting your own limb,
I can
seems
see how
strange.
that's a problem, yes.
Yeah. So I then looked. Okay, well, what am I like with unarmed strikes? That's 1. The damage would be 1 plus my strength modifier, which is -1.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So, is there any kind of like debris or like bits of sort of pipe or anything lying around that I can use as an improvised weapon?
Plenty of bits of exploded Vargouille, mate.
Are they hard enough to smack something with?
Yeah. Like, there's jawbone, there's like the top
Oh
of the-
yeah, I'll take a jawbone.
There's like the good dome of a skull, you know.
Yeah, so
Take a
I'm
jawbone?
just gonna sort of like land it on the floor a bit to try and sort of daze it.
Yeah.
Grab what looks like a gungy bit of jawbone, and then just jam it in.
Perfect.
Straight into the eyeball.
Yeah, perfect. Make me a strength attack, please.
Okay.
Or dex if it's higher. I mean, you know.
Yeah, let's do dex.
I mean, a jawbone's a finesse weapon, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's dagger shaped, right?
Yeah.
That's an 18.
Yeah, that'll do it, mate.
Yeah.
You wanna roll me some
A D4 for an improvised.
I mean, nah. Listen, a Vargouille, when it bites, rolls a d6 and adds 2. A Vargouille uses its jaw to bite. You're using a Vargouille's jaw.
I like your logic, Johnny.
Roll a d6 and add 2.
That's gonna be 4 damage.
Okay, this thing is very, very seriously wounded. It lets go of your wrist in order to writhe around and shriek because it's got a jawbone poking out of its eye. It is trying to like get it out. However, all it has are wings. So it's sort of just batting it around and shrieking more. It is just like a roiling mass of fury and wings.
Delicious.
I kind of saw this from the side, like out of the corner of my eye, while I'm obviously waiting for the other one to come around.
Yep.
And I thought that Fizz is like trying to feed his new pet, and that he did a really bad job of it. And I'm like, you can just hear me going, "Oh."
Yeah, he's really donked this one.
Oh,
Like-
this guy really sucks at this.
You think like he's whichever way this comes out, Fizz is probably going to need some reassurance that like he's actually not a bad parent to this lovely little pet that he's got that he clearly cares for. It's just it's tough being a single parent on a Zeppelin. What are you going to do? Okay, Eric.
Right. So, is there still one nearby me?
Yeah.
Sort of nearish.
Oh, that's the one I was thinking of. Okay, sorry. Yeah. I got my numbers confused, and I remembered that one took a lot of glass in the mouth damage, didn't it? Yeah.
The old glassy boy.
Glassy.
I will ever so creatively do another firebolt.
Perfect.
And as I do it, I will say which is abyssal.
Sorry, got a bit of interference there, Sarah. What did you say?
No, it was perfectly clear. We are going to get demonetized if we keep shrieking, if we keep swearing like this. But carry on. We've said it now, so I guess let's roll with it.
Which is abyssal for idiot meat stick.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
much worse than abyssal.
Eric doesn't speak very good abyssal. He never quite got the guttural groans right.
It's hard. It's very difficult. Those consonants are just—they're all in the back, and it hurts. Anyway, carry on.
It's a Germanic language.
Yeah.
Cool. I got a 3, so I'm going to use my wild magic surge to try again.
Okay.
Visibly irritated. And that's a 14. Would that hit?
That does hit.
Okay. I'm going to need to roll a d4.
Yep. And don't roll a 1, right?
I just rolled a 1.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Every
What's
time.
this? Is it the wild magic surge table? Methinks it is. Roll me a percentile die, and let's see what happens.
Oh no. Okay. That's a 40. That's a 47.
47. Oh, a unicorn controlled by the DM
Yes! That's the best one.
appears in a space within 5 feet of you, then disappears 1 minute later.
Oh my god, so good.
A unicorn appears. Its front hooves are propped up on the bar. It goes and turns round and starts grabbing at bottles in order to make a cocktail. Unfortunately, its horn smashes the row of top shelf. In frustration, it kicks as it turns. And it nails the Vargouille. So, oh wait, how much damage did you do with the fireball? The fireball.
I shall roll for that. Roll for that now. Momentarily distracted by the unicorn, who I call Alfred and who I've seen before.
Alfred
That's
makes
10.
a mean Manhattan. Is that a 10?
Yeah, it's a 10.
Okay, so I mean it's already dead. The Vargouille basically it gets hit by this fireball and it instantly buys it. Like it just crumples to the bar in a mound of like flesh and jaw and not much else. And then it's punted across the room by the hind legs of a unicorn. It's frustrated because that was the only bottle of bitters. And do you have any idea how limiting that is?
It's just not the same without it.
This is the lesser known director's cut of Blade Runner.
What's the name of the unicorn again?
Alfred.
Alfred sort of looks at you and like it's funny, like you've never seen a unicorn shrug before, but it goes like and just fetches a bottle of tequila and racks up a couple of shots because that's about all he's got right now. So that's dead. Tim the Goblin, what are we saying?
Okay, so is the only one left the one that's like gumming Fizz?
Was gumming Fizz.
Was going.
Was
There's one
gumming.
that's shrieking on the floor and is very nearly dead. I had it that there is one left, but that might be a mistake. There isn't one left. Sod it. Yes,
So
the
then-
only one left is the one that's shrieking on the floor with a jawbone in its eye.
Okay, Tim's gonna run up to that one.
Yep.
And he's gonna hit it with his club.
Roll, please.
Okay.
Yeah, just roll me a strength attack, I guess.
Well, I've got to hit first, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, sorry. Ooh, that's not good. Okay.
What is?
That's 5.
Okay. You do have inspiration if you want to roll again, or you can.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
That's an 8.
That is better.
Tim runs over and goes ah, bop, and just hits the deck next to the Vargouille. The Vargouille, in fairness, jumps. It's surprised.
Tim then takes a little bit of time pulling the club out of the floor.
Aww.
He's like,
The Vargouille stops batting at its own face for a while, throws both of its wings back on the floor, and then sort of bends its shoulder joints backwards, sort of effectively arching the head off the ground, opens its mouth and gives a terrifying shriek. I would like everyone within 30 feet, which I think is everyone and able to hear it, please make me a DC 12 Wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh, I got an 11.
I got a 9.
I got 17.
One moment.
Oh, you're so wise, Tim.
Very wise. He's most wise.
I got a 10.
Where do I see the saving throw?
Just
Top left.
Just
Oh, at the
Yeah.
front. Oh, okay, that's 14.
okay. So
Oh wait, sorry. So saving throw modifiers. My wisdom is +1.
Yeah.
So I got a 12.
okay.
Sorry.
I realized that I actually got a 19.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Wow.
Cheers, me, and rub it in, yeah.
Anyone who got a 12 or better is absolutely fine. Anyone who didn't is now frightened until the end of the Vargouille's next turn.
I'll be honest, mate, I was already cacking it a bit.
I'm quite frightened.
Okay.
I begin yelping and swearing
Okay.
and looking to the unicorn desperately for help.
He's already leaning over the bar in that classic bartender, tell me about your problems sort of way. He's ready. He's got two ears, and they're both turned exclusively your way. More boss. Sorry. Yep, Karen.
so impressed by Eric's abyssal shade, and now feeling for him, Morboss just kind of slides a shot across the bar because I think Eric, Morboss, and the unicorn are all at the bar at this point. So just slides one and kind of nods with like a kind of shared, nice job.
Amazing.
Coming to ABC this Thursday, Eric Morboss and the Unicorn. It's a rousing tale of alcoholism and abyssal swear words. It's fun for all the family.
So, you're all getting hammered in the bar.
Yeah. So is the Vargouille outside?
Yes.
Is it still on the floor?
Yeah.
For Morboss's whole turn.
Yeah.
Basically, can I
Yes.
go outside,
Mhm.
pick it up by the wings?
Yep.
So kind of like grabbing it like the ears of a rabbit in a hat, and then put it in the chimney. And what I'd like to do is then, with the help of Eric and the unicorn, is pile basically lob as many bottles of flammable spirits as we can into the chimney while this Vargouille's in there.
Yeah.
I feel like Eric's not going to be up for that.
I sort of as you suggest this, I kind of like I'm putting aside like a few of the things I like, and I'm getting like some of the like sort of brightly coloured sort of alcohol stars. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, who's these?
Out
Okay.
with the cherry brandy, in with the
100%.
the nice stuff.
yeah, there's like lots of Zivania that goes in. I actually quite like Zivania, but it's potent. Anyway, yeah. So basically, all of you outside, including Fizz, who is really quite deathly afraid. Morboss comes out like as casually as if he was walking down the street and dropped something and just turned around to pick it up. Just like isn't bothered. Just like just grabs a Vargouille by the wings, saunters back in, and just casually just like tosses it on the fire. At which point, our unicorn friend, who has a dex of plus 16, but rolled a 13 anyway, grabs a jar of moonshine and just hoofs it, quite literally, into the fireplace. And it just goes woof. In fact, the whole Zeppelin sort of lists a bit and makes a sudden lurch to one side because there is just so much fire coming out of the chimney that it like honestly propels it over a little bit. And yeah, we're out of combat now. The dust and the gore and the ashes of the immolated Vargouille start to settle.
What happened to the other one that was flying around that I was waiting for?
Oh, no, you're right. Sorry. There was another one. Sorry, yes. There's one flying around. It flies within range. You're waiting for it.
Is it even my turn?
Yes.
What do I do to pounce on it? Is it Dex?
Yeah. It would be Dex Athletics. Or Acrobatics, depending on how you do it. Sorry, that's my fault.
That's a 14.
Yes, that's a hit. Roll me some damage. Well, I mean, what are you doing exactly?
I've got claws.
Okay.
So I'll just... actually... No, I'll just kind of like lightly bite it and I will bring it in and like plop it down in front of the guys.
Okay.
Like as a present.
I'm not going to make you roll damage for that. I think you've managed to like incapacitate. You sort of bite it at the base of the neck.
Yeah.
And yeah, it sort of goes limp and it's like... Mist brings it in and drops it on the carpet in front of everyone. It's like...
Oh, for God's sake, why do we keep this moggy around?
So Montebank walks in and she goes, yeah, so sorry about that. Always a hazard crossing this lake. My fault for descending into their territory. But in fairness, come on, and just sort of points at Tim. It's like, it's adorable. As she says this, she scoops Tim up and puts both of her arms around Tim's arms, grabs Tim's hands in her hands, Tim still holding the club, and goes, ready? And just caves in the Vargouille's skull.
Tim gets absolutely splattered with gore.
Yeah. Yeah, she gets quite a bit on her as well. It's like, oh dear. Well, listen, we could probably all do with freshening up, I think. There are actually personal cabins just along the way. If you try some of the doors, all of them have an ensuite. The water sometimes takes a little while to heat up. But yeah, it should be plain sailing from here to the cathedral. Probably.
I've already got like one leg in the air, like licking, and you know what I'm licking.
She is studiously ignoring this.
Bit intimate, really. But...
Yeah. She says, I tell you what, why don't we each take an hour or so, and then we'll meet back here, because there's just one little minor formality I could do. I could use some help with before we reach the cathedral. Sound good?
Yep.
That's good.
Actually,
Great.
Tim looks up at Montebank and says, are you all right? I hope you didn't get hurt at all.
Oh no, I'm fine, Tim. Don't worry. It's fine. It's just a bit grubby, but you know, occupational hazard, eh?
Could I do an insight check on her when she says a minor formality?
Yep.
Eric always sort of feels a bit suspicious when any
Absolutely.
mitigating language is used.
Yes.
Phrases like "to help facilitate your demise" and other such things. That's pretty good actually. That is a 22. 19. Yeah.
You you think about it. You're like, she is a clifftop adventurer, and she is being euphemistic. This is almost certainly extremely dangerous. She actually, like, while she's sort of reassuring Tim and being like, "I'm fine, don't worry," she, without moving her head, her eyes flip to you, and she tips you a wink.
Mm-hmm.
And then sort of goes back to ruffling Tim's head.
Mm-hmm.
I said
Tim's
head.
loving it.
Yeah.
He's loving it.
Yeah.
I sort of I hold up the shot that Morboss gave me earlier, sort of nod to Morboss, nod to her, and kind of wink back, but internally I'm panicking a little bit again.
Okay.
But for the time being, I will talk to the unicorn and drink.
Oh, I got some bad news for you actually. The
Is it
unicorn
gone?
cheers your shot, throws it back, and then the shot glass just tink 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 lands on the bar empty. But as it disappears, you hear a whinny. It's actually in Abyssal, and it's basically a whinny to the effect of like, "I'll see you soon, you redacted string of expletives."
One battle down, but the quest is not yet over. What awaits these adventurers at their final destination? Will Alfred the Unicorn make another appearance? And will Fizz ever get the hang of this parenting thing? Find out in the final part of Blimp My Ride, coming next week. In the meantime, why not hit that subscribe button to make sure you don't miss a single episode?